Hi, it's Darnell with Way Over Recipes, and today I want to try cooking up a lasagna in the Cuisinart Chef's Convection Toaster Oven. It's also a very effective air fryer, but in this case, cooking up a lasagna, it's going to be doing some good old-fashioned baking. And so, I'm going to see how it does. I'm going to show you how to cook up a lasagna. Some of you may have seen my chicken lasagna in an earlier video, but in this one, I'm going to be cooking up a traditional style lasagna with the meat sauce and all that good stuff. And so I'm going to basically use a bigger pan because the cooker here we're using, the Cuisinart Chef's Convection Toaster Oven, can hold a bigger pan. And so we're going to get started with a nice bigger traditional style lasagna right now. Alright, so we got a lot of ingredients for this lasagna here. I'm just going to start out by showing you I've got one large pot full of water, not full of water, but with a good bit of water in there to boil the lasagna in. And I've got like a pound of lasagna. We'll see how much I need to finish off this lasagna. This is basically over 2 pounds of ground beef that I have here because I just got it from a large pack. And so I'm going to just cook it all up and throw it all in there and we'll see how it goes. I've got here for cheese, I've got maybe about 5 cups of cheddar cheese, maybe a little more, probably a little more than 5 cups worth. Might not use it all, may only use 4, may use all, about 5 or so. Got some Larry's seasoned salt that I'll be using to season the meat as I heat it up. Also have some marinara pasta sauce. This is a 23-ounce bottle of pasta sauce. And what I'm going to do to start, as I mentioned, going to heat this water up, going to boil the pasta, going to heat up the meat, season up the meat and heat it up. And after I heat up and season up the meat, I'm going to mix in the pasta sauce so that the meat has the pasta sauce in it. And I'll bring you on back after those steps are done. Alright, so my water is starting to boil. I'm going to get my lasagna in there soon. I've cooked up my ground beef, seasoned it and cooked it up. And I did drain all the juice off of the beef. And now I'm going to put the marinara pasta sauce in and just pour that in and basically get it all mixed up in there real good, and this will just be my sauce for my lasagna. Alright, so now my meat sauce has been made. My pasta should be done boiling. So I'm hitting pause on it and just going to check it. I've got a pan here that I'm just going to line with some cooking spray so that the pasta doesn't stick when I lay it out in the pan. And so I'm going to go ahead and just get the pasta out and put it across this pan. Alright, so I've got my lasagna that's been all cooked out here. I've got my meat sauce here, got my cheese right there. And so going to start building my lasagna, and I'm going to start by basically getting the meat sauce in a layer across the bottom of this pan here. Now I'm going to take a layer of 6 lasagna strips and put them over the meat. Alright, and now that I've got that on, I'm going to put another layer of meat on. Alright, so I just want to do a kind of thin layer of meat there, not too much there, but now I'm going to sprinkle cheese all over the place on this. Alright, now that we've got that cheese on top, I'm going to add another layer of lasagna, 6 strips of lasagna. Alright, with my lasagna about half made, I'm going to go ahead and use my kind of cheese on them hands, trying to get some cheese off to get the cooker warmed up, but going to turn things down to bake. Go in the bake, go down to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Cooking time It's going to take probably maybe between 30-40 minutes, I believe. So leaving it at 40, turning off all convection, and hitting start to let things start preheating while I put on my next layer of meat. Alright, now I'm going to throw some cheese on top of that. Now we're going to put on our final layer of lasagna. I'm going to put my final layer of meat over top of this, basically what I have left of my meat sauce. Alright, not a whole lot of our meat sauce left, so I'm going to go ahead and put my cheese on top of this. Alright, with that all in, the cooker's already preheated. It's already started counting things down, but we'll get it back to where it needs to be. Just going to open up now. Got a rack holder on the, well, a rack on rack number 2 in the cooker. And so just got it in there. Close up and just going to press in here to adjust the time back to my original intended 40 minutes. And just going to let that cook for a while and going to bring you on back when I think that it's done. Alright, so it's been cooking for 30 minutes. Gonna go ahead and check things out now. So let's open up and have a look at our lasagna. It looks pretty good, and I just want to, just for the sake of doing it, what temperature is in there? It's like 150s. It's like in the 150s inside of there. So down there it's like in the 145 range. I could cover something over the top. I'm going to let it cook for just a little longer. I mean, the meat is at about a done temperature, but I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes, and then I'll bring you on back. Alright, so things have been cooking for 35 minutes now, and so I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to definitely pull it this time, but I just like to make sure things are a little further cooked, and I know a lot of people don't use a meat thermometer on something like a lasagna, but now my meat is at a, you know, nicer 155 where I like it, turning things off. And so going to basically get it out and put it on this cooling rack over here and just let it cool. Be careful getting that out. But that's our completed lasagna. And so I'm going to basically cut on into it over here on the end, so just gonna go right down into it, cut myself a piece off while it's all hot and bubbly. And there we have our completed lasagna there. So I'm just gonna slide that onto my plate. Now I'm just going to cut myself a piece of my lasagna here. So I'm just going to cut my cheese on top is, you know, a little well done, but I knew that already anyway. So just kind of cutting down. It's kind of coming apart a little there, but we got enough to basically do our bite for our taste test. So I'm gonna get the camera moved and we'll do a taste test. All right, so here's the lasagna. Let's get some and do a taste. Alright, those boiled noodles make for a very smooth bite. The cheese on the top, even though, you know, it got a little, you know, a little more done than, I guess, other cheese inside of the lasagna, it's still a real smooth bite through because the pasta is real soft from it being boiled. And so, came out real nice. You know, it wasn't like the oven-ready pasta where the pasta's a little harder and trying to pull moisture from wherever it can get it. So, turns out good, and the Cuisinart Chef's Convection Toaster Oven can bake up your lasagna real nice. Definitely hope that you like this recipe. You can get a link to a printable version in the video description. You can also find recipes for this cooker and others on my blog at superwaveovenrecipes.com. You can always come to this YouTube channel by going to waveovenrecipes.com. Also, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at waveovenrecipes, and also in the video description are other ways that you can help this channel. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share the video with a friend, leave your comments, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and good eating.